to her. I was saying, why were you doing that? And she turned around and said to me, because the actress had met the bishop. You know what I mean? And that was it's a hilarious joke. Oh, hi everybody. So sorry,
the inappropriate jokes are already started 30 seconds into the show.
Absolutely. We did know we were live.
We did.
We just thought we'd just start with that. How's your week been, Stephen?
Yeah, good so far. Yeah, I'm back. Mrs. Howe has gone out today, so
You're backer. You're backer.
I'm backer in the office, as in the upstairs office. So Mrs. Howe's gone out today, so I have reclaimed the office. So yeah, all good.
Is that a new term that you can actually throw into the English language? I'm backer doing this. I'm backer doing that.
We played, yeah. Hey, do you know what? You've just started it. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Hi, Ashley. Nice join.
Hi, Ashley.
Ashley's little circle there actually blends rather nicely with our background. It's almost like we did that on purpose.
Yeah. Now, for the colourblind among us, aka me, is our background orange and Ashley's yellow?
Well, no. I'd say his is orange as well.
Who is it?
Ashley, what colour would you say your background is? Do let us know.
Please do.
And Ashley will tell you why he's coloured his background that colour as well, probably because he's a bit of an expert in that field.
Okay.
I've had a very, very busy week this week. Lots of new clients coming on board, so having to gem up on lots of different areas of knowledge to be able to write stuff. Gold. Of course it is. Always believe it is gold.
People need to think when they reply back to you, there has to be no lyric or chorus that it leads into. In future, people, please be very careful before you press enter or send. Just consider, was this ever in a pop song of the 80s or 90s? And if it is, we're in trouble.
Oh, yeah. If you could segue in, please. Yeah. If I had a photograph of you, I got the colour because I created 100% money back guarantee crest and chose the gold. I now use this gold on everything.
I like it.
Yeah,
looks good.
Like it. Nothing wrong with a bit of gold. Knew you would respond with that song.
He knows you too well.
True. Funny how it seems unpredictable. But there we go.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? One time, maybe the show should just be
singing.
People dropping in something in the comments, and you have to then turn it into a song from the 80s or 90s. I mean, that's got serious legs.
Talking about that, I had a message yesterday, and this got nothing to do with ergonomics, but it's quite exciting. Had a message yesterday from an artist that I had interviewed previously.
Right.
And she said, how would you like it if I lined you up with an interview with Flock of Seagulls? Do you remember A Flock of Seagulls? No. Tumbleweed. Now, good.
Yeah, I was going to
say. But anyone out there that
rained on your parade.
But anyone that does remember A Flock of Seagulls, they were big ones. This guy won a Grammy.
Really? American band?
No. Grammy. Anyway, there you go. Our guest has arrived, so very shortly we shall be bringing Mike into our little world to play a little game as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see if anybody else is out there. Photograph of you. Yes, that's right. Wishing I had a photograph of you, but I do down in the bottom corner. Ashley, it's right there.
Sorry, was that the name of one of the songs?
Yeah. That's it. Thank you. Come on. Isn't that great? Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. Chris is a new listener, I think. New joiner.
Is a new listener. Thanks for joining us, Chris.
Welcome, Chris.
If there are any other famous musicians or people you'd like us to get on the show to talk about ergonomics, that's fine. Do give us your suggestions. How's your world been this week in the world of ergonomics, everybody? Have you been keeping safe? We're going to find out now whether our guest this week, Mike, has been keeping safe. and what he does to do that as well. So let's get rid of this around the outside, and we can bring Mike in. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Mike.
Good afternoon, team.
Good afternoon. Is it where are you coming from, sir? Then that it's afternoon.
I am in Oldham, from Manchester.
And is it actually afternoon there? Is it?
It certainly is. Are we not in the same country?
No, we're in a completely different time zone. It's McVitie's time here.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah, it's fine. It is afternoon, but I was just testing to see where you were. You've got an absolutely fantastic collection of. Is that books behind you?
Yes. So it's a trifold. It's good to learn, but between me and you and the audience, it actually makes me look very, very intelligent as well.
Yeah.
So,
Although you have got quite a few dummies books there, have you not?
a few trophies up there. There's all sorts. There's all sorts. I mean, I was kicked out of uni and failed psychology, so it's probably a little bit of me wanting what I've not had, right? Which is a metaphor for life. I flipping love books. I tell you what, I posted yesterday about that.
Drive.
Oh my word, amazing. 3 levels of motivation: survival, goals and targets, and then intrinsic motivation, values, self-determination, mastery, autonomy, and purpose. Like, gee whiz, just amazing. But then again, I guess it pulls from different things, and massively helps me to help others. So Daniel Pink, wherever you are, well done.
Well done, sir. Well
done,
sir.
Exactly.
Stephen, do you read books?
Well, there's a Kindle. Yeah, I was just trying to get out of it. Yes, but on a Kindle, does that count?
Yeah, of course it does.
I read books.
Still a book.
Yeah, I've gone off the old traditional book, but I do read books now on a Kindle. I've sort of, from an environmental perspective, I know it's not great for bookshop sellers and all those people out there, but I do think you buy all these books and then, what happens to them also now. I've gone electronic as regarding reading.
And what sort of books? What sort of books do you read, Stephen?
Mainly sort of crime books.
Right.
So Michael Connolly books, Lee Childs, those sort of guys. So I tend to sort of stick with what I know. So I'm not particularly adventurous on books. So I should try to be, but I tend to be, if I find an author or a genre I like, I tend to stick with it. But equally, I am aware that I'm missing out on a whole plethora of books out there just by sticking on my very narrow channel. But generally it's at night and it's something easy to read. And, it's, if it's too difficult and I've got to concentrate, I'll just put it to one side and go to sleep. So it's got to be quite easy for someone like me.
So Mike, tell us what it is that you do.
So I'm a behavior change lifestyle coach, former personal trainer, and before COVID, I was doing a little bit of both with my business, that is. And I'm one of those guys that's done online coaching. Used to do this on Skype. So obviously I'm, I've been here ages before COVID, all that jazz. But it was an interesting situation to be in because I was fully booked. I was doing really well, but I knew that the results that my clients getting, was or wasn't getting is to do with things like habits and consistency and, coming to see someone in the gym for an hour was great. It's awesome. You teach them how to lift, get them to burn some calories, yada, yada, yada. But so easy to overconsume, got an obesity crisis that I was like, I don't want to be like everyone else. I know that I can serve them on a bigger level. I want to be able to get results for clients more consistently and better. Because, I wasn't best pleased with talking to Diane on a Monday morning and saying, oh, how are you getting on, Diane? Oh, let's not talk about it. I had a bad weekend. Let's focus on the exercise, because you'll coach someone, or PT them for a given period and they'll get some results. And then they book in with you again and, you measure them again. The results aren't quite as good. And, the third blocks comes and you're getting paid, you're getting paid all throughout this process. And you think, what, I'm not going to do the measurements. It's causes an argument. I want an easy life. And, no judgment, you're getting paid. You got rent to pay, bills to pay, yada, yada, yada. And then, 2-3 years goes down the line. And, if you want it to be critical, to be analytical. Like I had clients and personal trainers do, people that sell nutrition plans do. They have clients that pay them thousands of pounds, and they're the only pounds that they've lost. So I always wanted a bigger vision. I always wanted better for my clients. Always had a bigger vision. You know, it's not easy, but then what in life is. And yeah, the more that I've transitioned and developed, I've become more self-aware. I'm mindful to say that I'm not self-aware, because the minute you say you are, you're not. But it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely. I mean, things like this are just life changing, in the sense that there's got to be another way. We've got an obesity crisis. We've got people doing crazy things, you know, and then expecting a different result. This consistency, sustainability. Yes, it's habit-based change. Habits lead to behaviors lead to beliefs, and beliefs lead to identities. And you know, someone messaged me the other day and they said, oh, you know, you're a life coach. And it's like, maybe I've got a system that works to achieve a result in a world where things don't work. So call me what you want, but I try and avoid boxes. As an entrepreneur, I want to push into the unknown. We want to get results. I've just literally, and again, apologies for the lateness, I was 2 to 3 minutes late because I was finishing off with a client call, and you know, person's in week 4, and they said, this is the best thing I've ever done. And that's why you will hear me hammer on in the marketplace, like, join my program, because I've tried everything. I've been a 7 times British champion weightlifter. I've been the best personal trainer that's burned out. I've been 19 stone. Okay, I come 9th in UK Strongest Man final. The Peak Performance Project is as a result of a lifetime of trial and terror. One of the only things that I do is I tell my clients, focus on this. Don't worry. Did
you just say trial and terror, sir?
Trial and terror.
He did.
That is fantastic. I mean, I think you should have, you know, I really do think you should have stopped and just given that a little bit more time there.
Oh my word! I mean, these are just.
Do you know what I mean? Trial and terror. I mean, that's brilliant. You know, you can, if you've got a line like that, you don't want to just rush past it. Trial.
He's got a book. Hang on, he's grabbed something off the shelf. What's he got?
He's got a book. He's got the Mr. Men series.
I'm following OD. You know, I'm quite good. I'm a bit like my dog Nelson. I'm obedient but excitable at the same time in equal measures.
So Odessa has said, ask about the top 5 regrets of the diet.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna kind of check in with. But yeah, no, I mean, another one that I won't say I use because it's a gift that's been passed on. If anyone's watching a video, by all means, take it from wherever it comes from. But another one is separating the data from the drama. You know, because we do want to be splitting the two, and you use it in business. Basically, if you imagine business redesign for health and fitness and mindset transformation, you've probably got a bit of an idea of what it's like to work with me. It's nothing fancy, except it works in a world of things that don't work, because small manageable changes are the one. Right now, just before I go into the 5 regrets of the dying, I was listening to another book, and it said that 70% of business organizational transformational redesign fails because when they introduce a new model, they expect resistance. So when they get resistance, or they get challenged, I should say, they perceive it to be resistance, they oppose that, then the person challenging them digs their heels in, and then we get the resistance. Now, I'm not all about the law of attraction and all that jazz. There's probably a few books on that. I'm not like believe it and you'll see it. It's like, you know, self-belief is something that I'm privileged to benefit from other people. I trust other people. But I do know that when we have a structure and a system that's been proven to work, we then go all in, and then we get the result. And, you know, if you have been checking out my stuff and you watch the testimonials, it's like they've done well, but I'm not there to do it for them, because we're not here for someone else to tell us what to eat or drink or what's important. Like my highest value is contribution. Like your highest value might be business, which if it is, like commit to that, but then have a time frame so you can be present for your partner. These type of things, because you know what, when we do have a donut or an extra pint of beer, or we beat ourselves up, like where does that come from? Like, let's just get the truth on the table and actually get results consistently. Because again,
mine normally comes from Tesco's. Where
Can I just ask, is top 5 regrets of the dying one of Graham's upcoming music interviews? Because it does sound like the sort of band that you would interview.
I have all of their albums.
Yeah, I thought you did. Yeah.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. This is a great book. I have no idea what OD. I've given nickname, right? OD. What OD is making reference to, whether just to recommend that book by Bronnie Ware, or just to talk about kind of some of the reflections from it. But my aim with everything I do is to maximize the opportunities in front of me. I mean, it's challenging, don't get me wrong, because you want to be at peak performance, but then, you know, it is what it is. When, as an example, very briefly, when clients hire me, they trust me. I need to show up. That's life. So it's to avoid these things. All right. Bronnie Ware was a palliative care nurse, and she looked after people that was, let's have that conversation, like on their deathbeds. And she noticed that generally speaking, there were 5 things that they regretted. Talking about the feelings, working too hard. You know, I think I'm guilty of that at times myself. What was the other ones? I hope I'm going in the right direction, OD. Had the courage to express my feelings. Like, that was another one. Wish I stayed in touch with my friends. Now, your friends change, depends on who you are and your circle and all that jazz. But I wish I'd let myself be happier. Now, my point is hopefully that we achieve our goals that leave us in a position where we look back with things other than regret. Because again, this is like, if that's the story of your life, it's like you're the author. I mean, you're the reader. So you judge and beat yourself up because you're the observer. But what we don't want to do is get to the end and then say, oh, but what about the big finale? What about the big, you know, what about the big moment? What about the triumph? It's like, yeah, that was like 10 pages back, 20 pages back. And that was, to be honest, internal, because we know what to do, but we know not what to do, which is the problem. And you didn't face that because someone didn't help you to see that the challenge is that A, you know what to do, and B, you're not doing it, and C, no one else is coming to save you. You know, behind the fool sits a savior. You know, when I bring a client on board, it's like they're not in a good place. Like, good, awesome, you've tried 100 things that don't work. Let's do it properly. And then your logical brain's like, I've done it now. So it's a long-term solution to a big problem. So I like that. I like that book, but I like that kind of metaphor. You know.
Mike, what's been the biggest out of all the people you've taken on board as clients? What's sort of been the, if you could pick one where you took someone on board and you thought, actually, this is going to be a real challenge, and you succeeded? I'm really interested as to when you started, what was it that concerned you about it, and obviously what was the process that allowed you to succeed?
Massive. Yeah, good question. I think that I think concern. I try and avoid any worries because they're based on the future and the past. So I wouldn't necessarily judge that, but I think that's ever present. I think that's quite a good thing to be mindful of, because let's just kind of take a step back from the worry or concern. Like, I care about my clients. I care about anybody. You know, sometimes I care to my own detriment. That's the point, and that's why you create boundaries and structures, etc., etc. So I would say that my main worry is that of what I witness and what I use as my motivation is that there's a lot of people that say they do what I do. That's not going to change. That's going to happen more and more. And I see this for what it is. And unfortunately, and this is happening more and more, I am seeing people that have, like, you know, I've hired more so now than ever. I've hired an online coach. You know, I've lost weight. And to be honest, like, this is powerful. This is insightful. This is transformational. But this is, unless you're doing, in my view, unless you're doing your best, you really should just stay where you are, because it's, yeah, my worry is a lot of people. Like, I can't help people enough. There's only one of me. I'm not going to give up. But my worry is the people that when I speak to them, like, you know what, I'm going to do it on my own, and I'm just that's my worry. I think it's born out of not wanting to let people down. That's, in fact, you know what, I know I've kind of looped around at a few different points. That's my biggest fear.
Yes,
that I know I can do better, and I don't want to let people down, and that, you know, that goes to depth. But then, you know, there's a reason why my clients get results, and it's because we do this together. Like, it is that important. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, one quick point. You mentioned Tesco's, right? And again, maybe it's a psychographic thing, right? But if I'm in Tesco's and I'm buying pork pies, right? I love flipping food, right? I'm not being funny. I'm not being kind of judgmental, but I want that person to want to serve me. Like, I know it's Tesco's and I know it's only a pork pie, but I want them to want to help me, to serve me. Because otherwise, like, you know, I used to work at Asda. Like, go and work at Asda. Like, go and clean the roads. Like, do what you want to do, because we only have now. We don't have our lives, and it might be a little bit, you know, well, they're working at Tesco's to, like, but yeah, I definitely think that we should go all in, and that way we do get the result. I
love that for Modessa. Other supermarkets are available. Yeah, we just made that point. There are other supermarkets that are available.
We're hoping for a Tesco sponsorship deal. That's why we keep plugging them.
Mike, one of the things that, and I've talked to an awful lot of people over the last couple of years in the field of sort of weight loss and health, and Stephen will know my background is in workplace assessments, you know, helping people in the workplace that are struggling with particular issues that have come to the fore. One of the things that I always get stuck on a little bit when it comes to anything to do with weight loss or whatever is what I call parent syndrome, which is that when you become a parent, actually, to some extent, your life stops.
Massive.
Right. And actually, in a way, you don't care quite as much about yourself because you put your children first.
Yes.
And therefore, and I do struggle with it a little bit, which is when you get the post in the morning where someone's gone, you know, I got up at 5 o'clock and I went for a run, and then I went to the gym, and then I did this, and then I did that, and then I'm super into it today. You think, yeah, that's great. I've got to get the kids up and get them to school. I've got to look after them. I've got to get them dressed. I've got to feed them. I've got to make sure. And then after school, I've got to take this one to this club and this one to that club. I don't actually have an awful lot of time for me in my life, right? And do you know what? I call that being unselfish. And you know, but well, you hear my dilemma. Where do you stand on that?
It is, until you use that story to justify where you're not where you know you could be if you was the best version of you, and then it becomes very selfish. Okay.
Does it?
So
how does it become selfish, sir?
Because that's, well, I mean, it depends upon the context of the outcome. Like, it's not selfish if we're with a view of, you know, it's a great conversation. It's not selfish if we're with a view of, right, what can we do? And to be honest, now that I say that, without that knowledge, without that structure, without being able to at least explore that option, then it's like, well, what else? We're all doing our best in life, and that's an overarching principle. But it's like this pen, right? Throw it in the air, and it lands where it lands. Wherever it's landed, I'm not like, oh, should have landed at a different angle. Should have landed, you know, slightly more, you know, pointing to the left rather than the right. But that said, what I want to be doing is kind of like using the pen thing, right? It's like, right, this situation is amazingly challenging, but, and Tim Ferriss talks about it, it's like, has anyone less intelligent or less driven ever fixed this problem that I'm facing right now? And it gets us out of our own head, because there must be a solution. Otherwise, we wouldn't be telling ourselves the story that this is something that can be changed. Like, if I had one arm and I was walking around, you know, I wouldn't, if I was logical and rational, 5 years later be telling myself, you know what, like, flipping heck, I should have another arm. Like, and if I would, it wouldn't necessarily serve me. So let me just bring this into landing with a little bit more something that's actually of use, rather than, you know, conjecture and ping pong back nice ideas. It's like, if we want to, for example, improve our body composition, our health, our habits, if we want to achieve a different result, then it's something that we want to stick to, which involves, especially when you are genuinely busy, you've got a lot on, maybe you've got lots of injuries, maybe you've tried lots of times before, which means you're motivated. People are busy. Time is shorter than ever. Like, you know, adverts, boom, 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 all left, right, and center. Now, the way to do that is to look at the opportunities, make small changes, and have a clear, bigger vision. It's like, I'm going to be okay with my rational brain not believing that this is possible, because me speaking to you right now, looking the way I'm looking, doing what I'm doing now, personal trainer version of me wouldn't believe it. They wasn't happy in getting the results that they were getting, the percentage wise. But so the future version of us is, it's like, you have to have a vision, because otherwise, like, what's the point? I mean, a vision, a mission, a plan, and a purpose. Like, look at the value, look at the opportunities. Like, I'm busy. Okay, cool. Does that mean that you can drink 3 pints a night? Well, it's like, I've got stress. All right, cool. What about 2.5 pints? Yeah. What about, I like the alcohol. Okay, what about low sugar beer? What we need to do is see what's going on, see what small changes we can make. Yeah. Because often we have limiting beliefs. Often we just make up stories. We have excuses. Often they're getting the truth on the table. Seneca says it: the consciousness of wrongdoing is the first step to salvation. Unless we know what we're doing, say it's nutrition, unless we know what we're eating and drinking, then we don't know what to fix, right? And I'm not gonna. Like some people, I'll send you a PDF. It's like, dude, if you're buying the donuts and eating the donuts, what do you think? Well, actually, I might not buy donuts this week. Awesome. The next week, how did you feel about not eating donuts? I felt better. I was sharper. Like, little thing. We can't do this all or nothing.
I agree. But do you think that sometimes the problem is that what people see is they see the extremity over here, and because the extremity is thrown in their face day in, day out as this is what this is what you should be achieving, this is what you should be, that actually makes them go, well, do you know what, I'm just going to have a pint tonight, because quite frankly, I am not exactly, what's the point, because I'm not going to be able to achieve that. I am not going to be getting up at 5 o'clock to do that. I am, when they're talking about swimming the Atlantic, I'm lucky if I can swim one width of my swimming pool.
Massive.
I mean, and that's I think that's the problem sometimes.
Yeah, of course it is. But that propagates a system which by definition is self-serving. They'll sell you the problem and then sell you the solution. I went to Asda, I don't go to Sainsbury's, right? But to Asda before Christmas, and they like chocolates. I went to the same spot and it's like gym balls. It's all this, they'll sell you the solution and sell you the problem, and you're just riding the wave of life and then, going with the flow, coupled with making excuses, coupled with limited belief, coupled with lack of clear vision, coupled with lack of accountability, and insight, and to be honest, self-discovery. A lot of it's it's not an accident. We've not got an obesity crisis because of an accident. All right. There are things which are going on which we need to resolve. And a lot of them, like, it's just because of this service is something outside of us. It can be family, great. It can be business. But the thing is, like, it's what I do with or I'm working on. It's a developmental thing. It's like the hardest thing for me is to pull myself off this computer. Like, the hardest thing for me in my 20s would be to leave the gym. Now I can't be bothered exercising. But the judgment that, like, we're not the people who was before COVID. I'm not the person I was 10 years ago. Sometimes there's a preconditioned notion or idea that we do not change. Like, I'm not the person I was before this flipping interview, and that in itself, once you have that conversation, then you can start to create change. You go, do you know what? He's onto something here, because there's a couple of things. Either I'm really good at what I do, or I'm full of it. I would explore one or the other, but then make a decision, move on, and then live your best life. Because again, a lot of this stuff we already know. Like, we already know what's important to us. You mentioned it before, it's like relationships. So then make it about what is important to you. Like, I don't want to let other people down. Like,
Mike, I want to ask you, because we call this show tentatively, loosely, Wow Ergonomics, with a little bit of tongue in cheek. But obviously, we're coming from an ergonomic background.
No.
And I totally.
And he's forgotten the question.
No, just as an aside, I totally get the chocolate things in supermarkets, because that starts so early, and we all realise that everybody buys chocolates and then they eat them and then they go back and they eat more so that they've got them for Christmas. And by the time you get to Christmas, you've had 8 boxes of those chocolates. But going back to the ergonomic thing, do you think in some of these things we actually need a little bit more of a revolution? And the reason I say that is, and there was a great post yesterday from an ergonomist on LinkedIn pointing out the fact that LinkedIn themselves on the newsletter page, did you see that, Steve?
Yeah.
Pointing out that on LinkedIn's newsletter page, right at the top, in the top right hand corner, there's a little graphic of a woman sitting there at a desk typing directly into her laptop, which is right down there, and it says start your newsletter, right? And they pointed out quite rightly that for a large organization that might actually be involved with or wanting to be involved with promoting the right way of doing things, right? Why can't we see that person actually using the right aids with that laptop so that they're actually adopting the right posture? How much of this is actually about a lot of us challenging what we see in front of us in every little shape and form? So, and actually get a lot of us getting together and actually saying, you know what, we can't have this anymore.
No, massive. We are natural problem solvers, and part of that requires us to be challenged in order that we can grow. You go to the gym, you lift weights, your muscles get tired, but hopefully you go reasonably heavy to challenge. Like it's no different. It's absolutely no different. If we want to change, because things in some ways are going the opposite way. I mean, I'll say it, because in some ways, like I'd still be stuck in the gym if it was for COVID, I believe, because it forced me to look at another way, and I'm changing lives. And to be honest, I'm selfishly motivated. It's changed mine. Yeah, you're absolutely 100% right. If we just imagine Henry Ford, right, invented the car, and he's looking around and he's seeing horses. Like he didn't just think of the car. He was like, what's wrong with the horse? What are the limitations of this system? He didn't go from problem aware to solution aware straight away. He looked at what is currently he went to the negative basically. And then he was like, right. And then he started to formulate something that would look like an idea that could potentially one day be of use. Like we go to fix mode all the time, chocolates to feel good, and gym balls to lose weight, and it's all this fixing stuff. And it's like the pen thing, right? It is what it is. What are we going to do about it? The all or nothing doesn't work. Improving our image without improving our self-image doesn't work. Like, and to be honest, looking after ourselves, thinking of ourselves, that doesn't work. How can I make more money? Well, make a difference. It's worked for me.
So here's a thing, and here's a challenge, and I'll give you this challenge, Mike. Are you talking to your clients about ergonomics? Right? Because here's the thing. The reason that most people are static and in one position when they work all day, right, is because they haven't got the right kit. If they had the right kit, they wouldn't necessarily have to work where they work. They could work lots of places. And that means that they could actually move around the house. That means they could move from place to place. That means if they wanted to, they could get down the gym and do a bit of work down there.
Take my money.
There you go.
My money. You're changing the world, as we all are. As we all are. I actually have an appointment. So do you have any questions before we wrap up?
No, not at all. You've got to go.
Brilliant.
Awesome. Yeah. Until next time.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, Mike. Thanks for joining us today.
Cheers, Mike.
Pleasure. Thank you.
It's been absolutely great. Guys, anyone want to get hold of Mike? He's on LinkedIn. Connect with him.
Yeah.
He will make sure he puts his LinkedIn profile in the comments.
No problem. Thank you.
Or Odessa will do it probably if she's watching.
Yeah.
OD. Come on, OD.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for that, sir. And then people will connect with you. Thanks so much for coming and informing us today. Thanks, Mike.
Cheers, Mike.
All the best.
All the best.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
He was
very,
brilliant.
very interesting.
Yeah,
very, very interesting.
Very much so.
Wow. But yeah, I mean, I understand the chocolate thing a lot. Totally get that. I bought 5 boxes. I still got them on top of the fridge.
Do you know, it was funny, speaking of chocolate, Mrs. Howe and I were discussing last night around chocolate and things like that. Obviously, it's a common topic in our house is chocolate, as it is in yours. But do you remember when we were kids, you got a chocolate bar? If you go to the shop now, my kids want the grab bag. Now, you know, the big one. But the grab bag didn't really exist, did it, years ago? It's almost this sort of getting people to eat more and more and demand. And now if ever I offer a bar, it isn't good enough. It has to be the grab bag. But the grab bag, you know, never existed for us as a kid, did it?
A couple of things in that. And I tell my kids this story over and over again, partly because I forget.
Right. What, that you've told them?
I've told them.
Yeah.
And you know, and because I'm boring like that. By the way, great comment, Chris.
Yeah, thanks.
Companies often struggle to acknowledge the need to spend on employees, but the right ergonomics has a massive positive effect. Absolutely. And I'm not sure Lindt is the only chocolate, but other chocolates are available. Yeah. But it's very nice chocolate. But yeah, you're absolutely right. But I always tell them the story. I lived when I was young, just up the road from a little shop, and that's where we bought our sweets. And we had sweets once a week.
Okay.
And we had 10p
to
spend on sweets, right? Which was a lot of money back then in the 1970s.
60s. Sorry, 70s.
70s, yeah. And what you got a tiny little white bag like this.
Yeah.
And then you would pick from tubs and jars. Yeah. And someone would actually, you know, serve you that and put them in. Nothing existed like a big Haribo bag.
No,
nothing existed like that. I mean, you take kids to buy sweets these days. That sort of thing just doesn't go on.
No,
right? It's all like, here's a bag, and you know. And I've noticed over the years it gets worse and worse and worse. The bags always started out about this sort of size.
Yeah.
Right. And now they're getting like this sort of size, and then, you know, there's an in-between size. So you can have the family share bag. It's called the family share bag. It tells you on the tin that's what it's meant to be for. And yet people buy them for their kids. Yeah. But then there's this, you know, there's the 30p type bag. But now there's sort of like the 55 to 70p type bag. So it's in between. And it's huge.
But yeah, there's also, you're right there, there's another one that's sort of gone the other side of the grab bag.
Yeah,
which is like the massive. This is for the extended family to share, but it's huge. It's like, why do you need to do that? And this is the whole problem. You see, a lot of the problem around child obesity and things like that is companies keep pushing and pushing. It's in their interest to sell more. This is one of the problems. Is that people want to sell more. The kids see the bigger one and they get drawn to it. Even the adults, even the big kids get drawn to it.
It worries me that we're heading towards a society. Supersize me. You know, I mean, we don't have that in the UK, but at the moment in said burger place, but we could head towards it if we're not careful, because everything is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't know whether you've ever seen that comedy sketch where actually someone goes into a burger place and they just ask for a medium meal, and the disbelief is like, what?
Yeah.
You want a medium meal? It's like, surely you want this size meal.
Yeah,
you know? It's like, but that's the problem, isn't it? Everything goes, add this, add that. It's add a line, you know, add a little bit, add a little bit more, you know, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean,
speaking of fast food restaurants, I went to a fast food restaurant, also known as the Golden Arches. And I'm not vegan, vegetarian, whatever it would be, but I went for the McPlant.
Oh, have you tried that? Have you?
And actually quite enjoyed it. I mean, I'm saying actually as if I expected it to be tasting like cardboard. It was really good. I would have it again.
Yeah. I I found it very, very interesting that this year after Christmas, suddenly all of the supermarket, all the Christmas lovely, exotic, over the top, deluxe food that's really bad for you all comes out, and then vegan food goes in everywhere.
Yeah.
Years ago when I was a kid, it would have been vegetarian food. Now it's completely vegan. And yeah, some of it's great. It's all overpriced.
Yeah.
Because therefore we can make more money out of you.
But they hide behind the excuse, the volumes are lower and therefore it's more expensive.
And yet it's taking up it's taking up 80% of the shelf space at the moment. So the volumes are lower, right?
Yeah.
But and yeah, sure. It's the fact that he was right there. It's the fact that these things just get turned into fads.
Yeah.
I mean, surely, if we're meant to be introducing vegan food into our diet as part of a, even if you're not vegan, just as part of a health thing, then we need that in the shop all year long, right?
Not like it was there on the 31st of January and on the 1st of Feb, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, and then it will head towards something else, and then slowly as we go through the year, it will get sidelined just to a little bit of aisle over there, and then as we get back up towards Christmas again, the chocolates will come out, and this is it. We're fed into this loop of consumerism, which feeds our eating. But look, I'm realistic about these things. I think it is really difficult if you've got halfpenny chews.
There we go.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Little shrimps.
Chris has redeemed himself after
aniseed balls as well. Aniseed balls. Yeah.
Cola cubes.
Yeah, cola cubes. And pineapple ones as well.
Yeah.
Now I'm hungry now. But I am realistic about it. I think it is hard when I do think it's hard for people when they grow up and when you have a family, and it's I think it's quite difficult to start taking care of you again when you've got other people depending upon you, and actually your time gets spread out.
It just slips further and further down the priority list, doesn't it?
Yeah, until, unfortunately, and that's that's how it happens for a lot of people, until you have a health scare, and then suddenly you have to prioritize it because you suddenly have a realization that, well, if I'm not around, how do I look after these people? It should really be there, I guess, all the time in your head that actually, if I don't look after me, how do I look after them? But that's not necessarily how it works.
OD issues now known as hang on. Pineapple is gross.
I don't know.
That comment's gross.
Right. If people are still around, we need to play a game. Unfortunately, our guest has gone.
Yeah, I was going to say he left before the game.
He's just gone. It's hard to do it separately. So hopefully, at least Dessa or Jonathan, who's just joined us, diet
Chris,
is very
come on.
personal.
Chris, we need some people for this game.
We need someone else to play the game. If you've got your phones, can you all please join in? One of you could win a prize.
Yeah,
fantastic. Share screen. I'm going to share screen, and I am going to go for. By the way, if people haven't been there yet, do go and check out wowergonomics.com. The website now exists. So view session. Okay, and I'm going to present this one. So today's product, Stephen, is the work and move desk.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Hope you're looking forward to that. The work and move.
Not really.
Desk. Okay.
Well, it can only go one way for me, can't it?
Yeah. There we go. So what's going to happen, folks, is I'm going to share this screen in the background. and hopefully you'll see it. Oh, let's just take the branding off. So there we go. And if you can go on your app, on your phone to vvox.app in your browser and put that ID in, I'll give you all a few seconds to do that. And then you can play along with Stephen from home. Now, most of the questions are on the Backer product, the Work and Move desk, which is on the Backer Elkhuizen website. So if you want to cheat, you can. Stephen can't.
Never thought of that.
Obviously. One of the questions will not be on that. Okay, there's obviously a bit of a segue one thrown in there.
Have you seen that Odessa said, can my prize be you write all my content for a week?
Well,
I don't think you'd want that. You'd lose all your clients.
I don't think I want that.
No.
God dear, what is she thinking?
Goodness, I'll send you a couple of emails. They're quite blunt and to the point. So no, you wouldn't want me doing fluffy stuff like content, Odessa.
Here we go. So we can all go. So hopefully some of you are joining in at home.
Didn't get to put our names in, Graham?
Oh, you didn't need to. Oh, you didn't get to put your names in.
No.
Oh no. Hang on. I'm going to.
Can we remedy?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to have to go back and sort this out.
Yeah.
I thought I ticked that. Identification. Identified. Save. Hopefully you should be able to put your names in. Can you put your names in now?
Session change. Please join again.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we have that number back up again, Graham? 134.
Here we go. Share the screen. So sorry about that, everybody. How a miss of me. Okay, here we go again. So 134-295-629 at vvox.app, and then you can all play along. Put your names in, then we know who's going to win. All right.
Can you everyone just put Stephen in just to sort of cover my shame?
Everybody put Stephen in. That would be great. Okay, so hopefully you've all done that now. I'm now going to open the first poll. According to the Backer site, the Work and Move desk is equipped with a lever that allows you to adjust the desk to the desired height in no time. Is it a control lever, a large lever, a simple lever, or a blue lever? Which is the correct answer? Vote away. We've got 3 people playing. That's great. So if you pick one of those, please. Simple. Okay. Control. Just waiting for the last person. It's not a difficult choice. Whoever it is, come on.
Come on, Odessa.
Yeah. Someone's got distracted. Okay, I'm going to... Oh, no, we've got 3. There we go. Well done. So going to close the poll, and the correct answer was control. Well done to whoever got that right.
Well done.
Next, the size of the Work and Move desk home assures that it fits perfectly in your home office or can serve as a home workplace. Is it the good size, the compact size, the small size, the useful size, or the awful size? I mean, clearly, if your marketing team had put awful size, then you'd have to be having words, wouldn't you? Right. 2 people gone for compact. Let's have the third person. Someone's really thinking about it. There we go. Close that. Everyone's gone for compact. And the correct answer is compact. Yay. Brilliant. Next one. The height is this and easily adjustable. Is it electronically, hot air, gas spring, manually? I've just realized that sentence doesn't even make sense. But the height is actually, it's not an and in there. The height is something easily adjustable. Is it electronically height adjustable, hot air adjustable, gas spring adjustable, or manually adjustable? Okay, so if you can all vote on that, please. Okay, so we've got 3. And the correct answer is manually. There you go. Someone got that right. The Work and Move Desk Home comes standard with a 1-year work and move guarantee, beer voucher.
Yeah,
that was my choice. Software license or wait. Does it come with a 1-year wait?
Hang on. Brexit's bad, but it's not that bad. We'll get it here within at least 6 months.
Software license guarantee. Last one. Beer voucher.
Hey.
Hey! Oh, I love it. Whoever went with that. The correct answer is actually software license. There you go. It comes with a 1-year software license. So Stephen will tell us a little bit about that in a minute. Switching between sitting and standing while working creates more in the working posture throughout the day. Movement, variation, dancing, or breaks. Personally, I like the idea of it creating dancing. That could be a big selling point for this desk, actually.
It's Jonathan who's a little bit behind. He's just put a comment to say he's on a little bit of a time lag. That's why sometimes the third person takes a little bit longer. So
we've got two at variation. Last one, dancing. Yeah, we've got one person.
That one's right.
The correct answer is variation. You could say that variation is dancing. Now, there's always one really hard one.
Always come out with one of these, don't you?
The effect of alternation is standing and sitting has a result that the concentration stays longer at a high level, says one of these people in a report.
Oh, God.
Is it Ibarra et al., Ibera et al., Genera et al., or Viros et al.? Clearly, I mean, this is.
I mean, it's a game of cat and mouse. No one's prepared to put their answer.
Yeah. Viros. Two going for Viros. Let's have that last answer. Right, and the correct answer is Ibarra et al.
Ooh,
there you go.
No one.
Ooh, there you go. No one got that right. The height range of the product, we're nearly there, folks, by the way. This is 7 out of 8 questions. The height range of the product is 730 to 1130, 740 millimeters to 1130, 720 to 1200 millimeters, or 725 millimeters to 1400 millimeters. Now, I was actually quite surprised by the answer here. That's what I'm going to say.
I'm so tempted to look on the website, but that's cheating.
Yeah, it is. Okay, we've got 2 different answers already. Are we going to have a third different answer just for the sake of it? Oh, yes, we are. Okay. Do you know what? One of you is right. And the correct answer was B, 740 to 1130. See, actually, I was quite surprised by that because that's quite high. It's quite a high starting point. But that's interesting. Maybe we can get someone to talk to us about that one week. Right, the last question. Who invented the hot water bottle? Absolutely nothing to do with anything. Jeff Banks, Salojib Edward Pencala, Dr. Edward Jenner, or Solivus Eduardo? Which one of these people invented the hot water bottle? Dr. Edward Jenner. Someone's gone for. Interesting.
Has anyone got it right so far?
I'll tell you when everyone's voted.
It's
3 people have voted. I have to tell you that 2 of you have actually got that right. The correct answer was B, Salojib Edward Pencala. Dr. Edward Jenner obviously invented the smallpox vaccine.
okay.
And Solvius Eduardo is a made-up character. Jeff Banks.
It's a clothes designer, isn't he?
It's a clothes designer. So well done, everybody. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. Let's see who's won. There's a clear leader with 5 out of 8. Who is it? It's Jonathan.
Well done, Jonathan.
Jonathan. Oh, fantastic. Well done, Jonathan. He's done
Hats
really,
off, sir.
really well. Dessa McCallsome. There you go. Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, that's fantastic.
Well done, that man. Well, Jonathan, if you want to send me I think we're connected already on LinkedIn. Send me a little DM, and I'll get you a prize out in the post in the next couple of days for that.
Tremendous. That's the first time.
Beaten, undefeated record has gone.
No, it's the first time we've actually had people that are listening play along, which is absolutely fantastic. So
well done, everyone.
That worked out really, really well. Well done, Jonathan. Do you want to say anything?
Or does he?
No, Jonathan. I just wondered whether there was any kind of comment there.
Gloating.
Kind of, winners kind of anthem.
Yeah.
By the way, if you go to wowergonomics.com, what fun! Yes, it was brilliant. And when you get your prize, you'll be able to show that off around the rest of the office. If you want more for the office, you just have to buy them. There you go. Yes, 5 out of 8. Well done. If you do go to wowergonomics.com, you'll also find the audio version of this, which is put on Spotify. Have you listened to it now, Stephen? Have you heard the awful theme tune?
Yes, and you're right.
It is. It's absolutely dreadful, but I quite enjoy it.
Yeah,
and then the little the little kind of ident music as well in between the different bit. It's there, and then this is now. I can't remember how many episodes, but I think we're up in the region of well over sort of 50 episodes of this now.
Is that how many? Well, I suppose it started probably 3 or 4 months into lockdown, didn't it? And we've just sort of rolled with it ever since.
Yeah.
People have demanded that we come back every week, so we do what the people want.
It's quite interesting. I mean, we're also broadcasting live on YouTube and Twitter as well. I hear every week that from people on Twitter that we're getting more and more people watch it over there, and I can see since actually we've done the website as well that there's been quite an increase in the people listening to it, which is lovely. Right. And maybe that's partly to do with the fact that actually people are getting out and about again a bit more and actually in their cars. Because if you've got the technology in your car now, you can actually pull Spotify up on your radio and listen along. So you don't even have to think about it.
Now, I don't know how to do that. How do you do that? Is that complicated?
Well, there's two ways of doing it. Have you, if you've got a little dashboard thing, that can normally, you can download the Spotify app into your dashboard and then you can press the button. If not, if you've got a stereo and you've got a mobile phone, you can obviously have Spotify on your phone, and then if you've got an aux setting, then you can use the aux setting and just have it plugged in, and then you can listen. You can listen back as you go. And what a better way to do something than learn as you're driving along. So there we go. What people will learn, I don't quite know.
No. Who invented the water bottle? They'll learn that.
Who invented the hot water bottle? A great one for quizzes. That. Thanks for joining us again for another week. Thanks to our guest this week, Mike.
Yeah,
it was very well read. Yeah, I mean, my reading's nothing like that. I've just progressed beyond the Mystery Men books now. That's about it. And thanks to the people that played the game as well. Well done, Jonathan.
Well done, man.
Do spread the news. You've burnt your pizza.
How's that our fault?
Don't know.
Is it because you've put pineapple on it?
Can I have a beer voucher though? Yeah. That's a good idea. Imagine that actually a desk that comes with a beer voucher. That might go down quite well in some quarters. Might have something to say. Yeah. See you all again next week.
Next week. I was just checking whilst you were talking there. Thursday. We're moving. We've never really done a Thursday show, but Thursday next week at 12. I can't remember why that is. You're busy on Wednesday, I think.
Maybe.
Thursday at 12.
Thursday at 12 next week. Enjoy the extra day off. And see you then. Bye.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.